Merry Christmas, everybody. So whenever you're finding this video, it's truly a message for you. There's no such thing as coincidence. Why you possibly are feeling strange right now. Apart from the year that 2024 has been, as you know, as an angel channel and shaman healer, I work with a lot of people and I get to witness and observe the different patterns going on in humanity and societies. I work with people all over the world, and yet it always amazes me how the same spiritual, energetic patterns play out time and time again with people. It's incredible. I'll go a couple of weeks and it'll be the same theme, the same issue, the same thoughts. Like, we truly are incredibly interconnected here on planet Earth in a very, very profound way. So apart from all these retrograde planets, blah, 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 I don't know about you, but I'm already over Mars retrograde, and it won't fully go direct until February. Anyway, let's just put the astrology aside for a little moment here. There is an intensive pressure that's been building. And those of you who follow my channel know I will come on here, vanity aside. My last video, I was probably the sickest I've been in years. Absolutely just, I think at that point I'd been a full week with vertigo, spinning, dizziness, vomiting every day, no appetite, not being like in the bed, afraid to move my head because I'm literally doing somersaults with my vision. Believe it or not, my vertigo is still there. The vomiting has subsided somewhat. I'm just getting on with it as best I can. It's Christmas Day. I was feeling I just needed to push through. So here I am. I wanted to reach out to those of you who are feeling the pressure that I'm talking about here. Now, for some of us highly sensitives, you might be feeling this like a pressure in your head, in your ears, which can contribute to dizziness or vertigo. I went to a late night emergency clinic. They checked my ears, checked my heart, checked my blood pressure. Everything was perfect. That's when you really have to start asking, okay, if physically, medically, they're telling me they don't know what's causing this, that's when I start to realize that there's something energetic, shamanic, spiritual going on. I know that in certain cultures, like even thinking of the swirling dervish, the dervishes that spin, spinning is connected to transformation, shifting consciousness, increasing awareness, becoming a new version of yourself, releasing an old identity. This all makes sense for me personally, and for those of you who really connected with that message, and so many people did, I got tons of messages, emails, comments, because I know that those of you who are spiritually open and connected and in the 5D consciousness, you're probably really feeling and tuning into this pressure that's building in the collective consciousness. So there's this focus on, yes, I know where I want to go now. I know where I need to be. I'm figuring out where I belong, which is first and foremost, I belong to myself. And as I said in that previous important message, the angels got me to flip everything upside down, which is probably why I felt upside down as well. They were saying, why do you feel like you're always looking where you belong? Why can't you decide who belongs with you? So that's what I've been doing in the times. I've just gone into deep meditation, days and days of stillness and meditation, because truly, physically, that's all I've been able to do. But it's given me new perspective, and it's reminding me that I'm choosing now who belongs with me. And there was also this really powerful moment where the pressure had reached such a point, and as I said, like, I was physically, emotionally feeling this pressure. It felt like my ears were going to explode. And Yeshua ben Joseph, son of, Ben meaning son of Joseph, mainstreamly known as Jesus, or I like to call him the Christ light or the master healer. Every so often he will pop in. He usually only shows up when things are bad. So when Yeshua shows up, I know I'm really going through it and there's something important happening. And hang on, I just want to get comfortable. Let me turn this way. To be very slow and intentional. I was saying, I had just been vomiting and not being able to hold down any food for days, and I was so sick of it, guys. I was starting to feel mad. I was starting to feel fed up. And I said, why is this happening? Everything was going so well. I was so full of energy. I felt so good. I don't understand. And he gave me some real tough love. The Christ light was very clear, and stop, he said. Enough with the questions. What good are these questions doing for you? And answer this. If I answer these questions for you, is it going to make you feel better? No, I guess not. So your ego mind tries to pin our problems, our issues, our pains and discomforts on something, thinking that if we can logically explain everything to ourselves and others, it will magically make our pain disappear. And this is an illusion. And for those of you who follow my journey, I've been burning off illusions now since the pandemic. And I really feel like this is probably the biggest illusion that I am releasing and integrating now. And that is the myth that closure, in inverted commas, logical reasoning, answers to our logical questions takes away our hurt, takes away our grief. It doesn't. We still have to grieve the loss. We still have to go through the eye of the hurt, in through the cave of that darkness, out into the light again. It doesn't undo the process or the journey. So I was shown in that moment of despair, which was just a few days ago, how I was torturing myself with questions. Torture, it was literally, and that's a choice. And I made a new choice to stop the torture, to stop the questioning, stop the ego minds racing for closure on things and trying to tie everything up in a nice neat bow before Christmas comes, because my brother Dara, who I haven't seen in 5 years, is coming over with his partner and children, and it's a really big deal, and I'm putting all this pressure on myself, and I want everything to be perfect, and I want to have lots of free time to spend with my niece and nephew, and whatever, fill in the blanks, your own version of the story, because I know you can relate to this story, right? Drop me a comment if this is resonating with you in any way, because I often find, because I'm a collective channel, a channel for the collective, I am given these lessons and stories in my life to help me understand the lesson, the teaching, the moment of love and light that is needed to create movement, to create dynamism and healing within ourselves and others. And it's often through our stories. You know, I love listening to people's stories. I love a good bio, a good documentary about somebody's life, because it's amazing how, as humans, through sharing our stories, we do really relate to each other. And I think Christmas is a real story time. It's a real time of, you know, we often tell stories about the past, and we think about ghosts of Christmas and when we were children and how we experienced Santa and giving and family and all that stuff. But I digress. I was told to stop questioning and to stop being lost in the seeking. And I've learned this lesson before, but sometimes we have incredible life adventures and we go on these detours and we forget things that we are so precious to us, important lessons that we've learned, or we get lost again and we have to re-find ourselves. And it's back to that cycle in life that is life, death, life cycle. So if you are running around and you're in a restless energy, perhaps the message for you today is take a beat, take a moment. December energy was all about slowing down and stillness. And the ego mind balks when it hears that message. Oh, stillness? In today's world? Who has such a luxury? And yet it's something we desperately need, because our lives have become an uproar of madness, of insanity, of expectations and social pressures and anxiety and depression. We need the winter of our lives so that we have no choice. And obviously for me, I needed the vertigo to give me no choice but to rest and to be still and to find that balance again. But ask yourself this: if you had the ultimate answer, I mean the logical answer, not the experience. I'm not talking about experience here. I'm talking about your mind, your physical egoic mind asking a question and getting a physical answer. Yes, no, left, right, this way, that way. Do you think it's actually, you see, we think it's going to give us some big grand gesture of enlightenment, and the truth is it doesn't. And I bet you would agree that when you do have those moments of enlightenment, or you do receive a blessed holy answer to something, it's often through the living into the answer. It's living into the experience, living through life, moving through the grey areas until you enter a period of colour again, that you go, oh, God, I was asking for this answer, or I was asking about this, or I wanted to experience this for so long, and when I just got on with it and got busy living again, who knew I would live into the answers? We have to give up this ego's desire to have all our ducks in a row and have everything tied up in a perfect, pretty bow. And I think Christmas just amplifies that perfectionistic disease that so many of us have been programmed into, almost like an injection in our arm. You know, we are succumbed, we are imbued with this constant seeking of perfection, and it's truly a disease to please. It's so poisonous, and we miss the moment, we miss the chance and the opportunity to live into these answers. And Yeshua said, stop trying to give yourself relief through the mind. You will not find it there. Drop into your heart and drop into your body. And I just kept hearing, become the light, become the light, become the light. And so I focused on radiating that inner light out, really, really, really big. And I just meditated until I felt like I was as big as the burning sun in the sky. And that's when I started to relax, and that's when I got some relief. So, yes, the planets are retrograde. Yes, there's lots going on in the astrology. Look at any of the thousands of videos on it if you want the details of that. But just know, again, it's your physical mind trying to pin it on something. I think we're evolving beyond that. We're evolving beyond the need to be seeking all the time and to be seeking answers in the physical external world. Because what I found is, I don't know about you, but I rarely get my deepest, true, heartfelt answers by sifting through physical things. It's usually in a moment of surrender that I find the truth or enlightenment in that brief moment. Maybe I'm just washing the dishes. Maybe I'm sitting in the bath with my crystals. That's usually when we stop seeking. It's that old adage that love arrives, love comes when you least expect it, when you stop searching. Which is why I don't believe in dating apps. I remember in 2017 giving up dating apps because I woke up one morning and the angel said, come off. I think it was Plenty of Fish or something I was on at the time. Come off that dating app. It's not necessary. It's an external seeking. It's the ego mind trying to manipulate itself into thinking that, well, I'm doing something, I'm putting myself out there. And truly, if you had any belief in and faith in your destiny and in your soulmate, you will know that whenever you're meant to meet that person, you will cross paths at the most perfect divine time. And it's the same for anything. It's the same with jobs, people who, and I've done this so many times, where you're job hunting and you're like a dog with a bone and you're torturing yourself, searching, seeking, trying to make it work. And then you get tired and you get burnt out, and whatever happens, maybe you get sick and you give up. And you go, you know what? I give up. That's when you get a call to say, hey, we want to hire you. We want you. That's when you're walking down the street, you're in the train station and somebody asks you the time and you meet someone, or you're teaching a meditation class and there's some person who shows up and you click. That's when we're not in that search mode, because like attracts like, energy matches energy. If you're in search mode, you're not in finding mode. If you're in problem mode, you're not in solution mode. Like attracts like. Do the math. So, which brings me to my last point. The energies for the end of the year going into January is surrender. Surrender your restlessness. Surrender your seeking. Surrender your perfectionism. Surrender your woes and worries. Surrender your concerns. Concerns and worries are an amplified broadcast to the universe saying, I don't trust you, God. I don't trust you, angels. And if we're in a state of distrust, we are closed down. Our hearts are not open. Sometimes we get sick to ascend and to upgrade. Sometimes we get sick to listen and to hear what's truly going on behind the noise. Sometimes we are just in the simple lesson of how the soul wants us to stop battling and stop trying so hard. I really believe when you try hard, you die hard. And it's a lesson I have to keep coming back to. Although I have to say, the older I become, the less energy I have for, I just don't try anymore. I'm in the Yoda, the Yoda mode of my life. And I'm wearing green. Do or do not, there is no try. It's like I either do something or I don't. And to be honest, it frees up a lot of energy, guys. Try it. So the energy for January. Okay, what do we want to say about that? The nameless ones. You may feel a conflict within you with this restlessness and the pressure that's building between what you have made peace with and ended in 2024 and where you are headed. And it's a little bit of a gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. But I'll let you in a little secret. When you make peace, surrender, and trust, genuinely now, it has to be real. You can't be checking behind the scenes, checking your phone. When you actually drop and the importance of whatever you're seeking and you let it go and you live into the solution, that pulls the solution in so much quicker. I know that by the end of January, you're going to be moving and grooving again. And by February, you're really going to feel inspired and you're going to have the energy. You're going to have far more internal, external resources to move you again. But let's just say, and I will be doing energy reports for those months, but let's just say for January, you're pivoting right now. That's it. This end of December into January is a pivot. So you're turning your perspective around, you're shaking things up, and you're turning from a new vantage point. You have a new angle from your consciousness. And it's a decision and a choice to see your situation as it stands, not wishful thinking here, but to accept, to respect, and to honor where you are as you stand, as it stands. Warts and all, absolutely no apology, pure respect, and to have unconditional love for yourself, whatever's going on, and that's it. That's what's happening with us now. That's where we're at. I've had to, as I always will, might take me a while to learn it and grasp it, but boy, do I always get back up and get there. Walk the walk and talk the talk. And just unconditionally love myself and say, wow, you know what? My poor little body's been through a lot this year. And I'm just going to sit back and love on me. And like I said in that other video, and if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I look like hell. It's the most honest, raw video I've probably ever done, although I've done many. Look back at my catalogue. They're in there somewhere, like where I've literally woke up in the morning and recorded, or crying my eyes out, heartbreak and all kinds of stuff. But this is about unconditional love and respect for your journey. And if you're invalidating where you are, you're stuck there. If you can take anything away from this video, do not invalidate where you are and where you've been. Because if you do that, you're not unconditionally loving to the self. There's no compassion there. There's no kindness. I also talked about in that video how in these many, I was having some deep telepathic channeled upgrading stuff happen. You know, I was told that our chakra system, and I've spoken about this a year ago and through the summer again, how our chakras are fusing together. I really feel like my ear chakras are massively upgraded and expanding. My mediumship is out the wazoo right now. If you are a natural born psychic and you're here to do that as a vocation, you will go through these bouts of incredible, it will look like illness to other people, but it's actually an upgrade, and it can be very uncomfortable. So have tenderness and respect for your journey. You would not be listening to me right now if you're not somebody who's an empath, a highly sensitive, a healer, light worker, fill in whatever label you want to give it. But truly, we're all beings of the light in service to each other and humanity. That's really what we're here to do. So please love the process, as horrifically painful and uncomfortable as it is. And I don't believe there's very few people here on this planet who are not at times going through horrific discomfort and pain, some more than others. But we're not in victimhood anymore. We're just not there. We've so outgrown that. And if anything, I would say you are probably the most courageous version of yourself that you've ever been. I bet if you really honestly look in the mirror of your soul, you'll see that you are so courageous and fearless right now. And if you can just be by the end of this year and be into the first week or two of January, and forget all the social bullshit that goes on, the ridiculous New Year's resolution, gym membership, whatever. Focus on where you are, be present, and just trust that solution or that new experience, it's already within you. And that's another thing. I was shown this big, energetic, geometric, sacred geometry shape is the only way I could describe it, being put into my body, which was causing tremendous discomfort. And I was told what that means as well. And many of you are going through this. If this is if you're getting triggered or you're getting like chills when I say this, you're probably experiencing this in your sleep, or if you've been sick with the flu recently, there is a collective purge going on. So just be aware of that. I've talked for way too long. It's Christmas. I gotta go. Merry Christmas, everybody. And look, to my members, you've been so kind to me, so generous, so loving. Please know that I share all that kindness and generosity and love right back to you. My subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for all the likes and support. It really, truly means so much to my heart of hearts. And I wish you a beautiful 2025. And I look forward to connecting with you there. The light in me recognizes the light in you.